Hello everybody, wee Paddy from across the Shuck, and you're very welcome to the channel. And I've got quite a few new subscribers recently, and I just want to say thank you very much for becoming subscribers. I'm not very good at the technical side, so until you send me a wee written text at the bottom of a video, I then say hello, let me know that you're new, and I can welcome you, and just we'll get to know each other over this next few months. But thank you so much to all the new subscribers. The other thing that I forgot to do is last night's video. Well, not last night, I don't know when you seen it, probably a couple of days ago. It was the video on, what was it on? Oh yes, the three knife challenge. I had forgotten to introduce this. This was made for me by one of my subs over on the Instagram, Jonas. And it was done on one of those 3D printers, and he's just starting out and learning how to use the 3D printer. And this is just, I just am over the moon that somebody would think to do that. Can you see it's even got little shamrocks down here, and the PPP for Paddy's potato peelers, and just ways for setting the knife on. And I think that is so lovely that somebody would think to do that. He just tagged me one day and said, look, I'm going to make you one. What colours do you want? How do you want to look? And I just left him to it, and he has made an absolutely amazing job of it. So Jonas, thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it. And he's given me a couple of other wee small bits, which you'll see over the next shots. It's a lot of people call it 3D printing. I call it witchcraft, something like that, because beyond me, I have no idea how it works. But that's because I'm an old sort of chap. So what are we going to talk about today? Do you know, I was looking back over my videos, and I haven't done a video on my bug out. I've mentioned it a couple of times, but I've never done it. So this is a long-term video on a bug out that I've had probably 3 months, 4 months now, 3 months, 4 months. So I thought it's about time I'd done a video on it. And I'm actually really looking forward to it, because it's one knife that it's very, either people love it or hate it, or you can find so many faults with it, but there's so many good points with it. So it's a knife that's worth me doing. I know there's lots of other people have done it, and they'll probably do a better job than I have, but this is just something I feel quite passionate about, this knife, for some strange reason. But anyway, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause you, I'm going to bring you down in closer, and we'll have a look at the bug out and just have a quick discussion on it. So I'm going to pause you now, and the next time you see me, there'll be a bug out in front of you. Hey, magic. If Jonas can do it, I can do it as well, you know. So this is it, the Benchmade Bugout. Came out last year, a bit of a shock, came from nowhere, and was I think it was safe to say it was an instant hit. The sales were really good, but then people started to find fault with it, that it was, it was too dear, it was too light. They didn't like the way that you can squeeze scales. But I'll have to say, nothing of the negative side I have found since I got the knife. There's only one thing, and I'll come to that eventually. This to me it has taken over, because I probably use it more than any other knife in my collection at the moment. Now, whether I'm just having an extended honeymoon period or not, I don't know. But during the summer, and especially at home at night, I'm in tracky bottoms. I don't feel this. It's 1.85 ounces. So, I mean, you can just throw it in there. It's got great fidget factor because it's got the axis lock, but it is just a lovely weight that you don't feel. Great little pocket clip. Benchmade's best. I wish they would start doing it in all their knives now, because it'll definitely take them. But lovely, lovely knife. So, what have I got to compare with it? Well, what I had before I got it, let's have a look. We'll put the bug out up here. And here's one of the knives that I was talking about in my last video. This is the steel will cut jack. It's made of FRN, same as the bug out. It's got a very good steel. The bug out's S33, this is D2. So this knife can do probably just as good a job and for probably as much of the time as the Bugout can do. I'm going to bring this in a wee bit closer and let's see them a wee bit better than that. That's better. So, I mean, this can probably do just as much work as this, and probably takes just as long to sharpen. But this is much cheaper. This is much, much cheaper. This is about $35. This is $115. So is this that much more than that? Well, yeah, to me, it's more than what the price of this is. Much more. And it should be, and I think it's right that it is. But, well, I'm going to come back to that and give you my version of why I think it is. This cutjack is just a fabulous knife. As you can see, the blades are almost the same. Let's just bring them up to you. They're almost the same size, shape. They're both thin. They both slice really well. They work well. Their blade thickness is not that far off. I think the steel will's a bit thicker. And I'm not going to go through all the measurements because there's so many videos out there. I don't feel the need to. I don't want to drag this out. So there's one in my collection that I believe is, you know, a good competitor for the Bugout. The second one I'm going to bring out, and this is the budget version of the Bugout. This is the Dozier, the Bob Dozier, made in Taiwan, and this is the K-bar. I think this is an amazing knife. It's Aussie, it's steel, right? So this is a budget knife, but it's FRN the same. Pocket clips not too bad on it. But again, if I show you them beside each other, they're not that far off. This is a bit smaller, real slicey knife, really slice. Takes a wicked edge. So does this. But the price of this is about $20 or under. And, you know, this is $115. So this is definitely the budget version because it doesn't look that much different. It hasn't got an axis lock, but, you know, an axis lock isn't everything. This is a great work knife. This one-hand operating, it really is a nice work knife. So that's the two knives that I believe are competitors in the budget bracket for this sort of a knife. Now I'm going to bring out a knife that has probably got, it hasn't got the FRN handles, it's got G10, but this is a knife that's been around years. Skyline. This has 1428 steel on it, the Sandvik steel. This is just a beautiful knife in the hand. I can sneak up quite happily if I need to, but it's lovely in the hand. Great work knife, good steel, holds an edge for a reasonable amount of time. Not as long as a Bugout would, but look at that. They are almost identical. Almost identical in looks. Almost identical in size. So, I'll put my Bugout down. This Skyline is just, and I think it was the Knife Beater used this once. It was the first time I'd seen it as a comparison to the Bugout, and it just is such a great comparison because although this is a hollow grind, this is a flat grind, they both cut extremely well. And for my everyday use, this will last me all day, just like the Bugout lasts me all day. But this, as a competitor, this is a good competitor for this. And I've always harped on my channel that, you know, I like to find a budget bargain. I like to find something that's cheap, that does a good job. But, and here's the big but, I'm going to move this over a bit. And here's the big but. I really, really wanted this knife. I seen this knife and it was one of them knives that, as a knife collector, whatever you want to call us, when you see it, you just think, oh my goodness, that is my knife. And that's what I felt when I seen this. I had to save up, and I got Christmas money, birthday money of kids, put it all together and bought this. Love them knives, help me do it. Great channel, by the way. Pop over and see him. He has an amazing channel and great sales, table sales, if you want to get your knives second hand and a bit cheaper. But this just appealed to me. The colour, blue's my favourite colour for knives. I have quite a few blue knives. I love blue. And the stone, it's not a stone wash. I don't know what way you would put it. It's like roughly finished on top here. And then it's a light stone wash or whatever on the blade, but it's just beautiful. It really is. I love everything about it, especially the weight. I love the fact that you can do, I have never felt this hand buckle under the weight or squeeze together when I've been cutting either wood or boxes or anything. This has been a solid worker. Never have I felt that it was going to break or it was going to, because everybody was saying about, oh, these, I don't trust them. Them handles are brilliant. Handles are brilliant. I love the colour. I don't want to change them. I don't want to change the knife at all. And to me, that's a sign that, you know, I like the knife if I don't want to change it. Blue is my colour. The only thing I would probably change in any knife is change them all to blue. But there's nothing I want to change in this knife. Is it dear? Yes. It's Benchmade dear. Benchmade can clear the dear bit with me because of their aftercare service, which is immaculate. I have used it twice. I had to use it on this because the springs went on it. They were sent to me from America and a spare pair, which done my other Benchmade knife, the 940, and I now have two working knives, and they were sent to me within weeks from America. I live in Ireland, as you know, so that was just amazing, and there was no charge, not even postage. They just done it. Rather than me sending the knife all the way to America for them to send it all the way back, I'm quite happy taking a knife apart and putting springs in. There's no problem. So I've done it. It's lovely. Hassle over. They were the nicest people to deal with I think I've ever had in the knife community. So helpful. And checked up that I'd got them all right and it was working all right. So, I mean, there's not many companies now that have an aftercare sales better than Benchmade that I know of so far. Maybe there is out there. Maybe your custom knives could be better, although I've heard some horror stories there recently. But I love this knife. I recommend this knife to anybody. Is it too dear? Yes, I think it's about $20 too dear. I was saying that in my last video. I think if they'd have put it just under 100 at 95, I think that would have been the perfect price for it. And I think a lot of people that are on the same sort of budget I would have, or I have, would buy it more. Once you go over 100, an awful lot of people set that limit at 100 who are on a smaller budget. And I think this knife needed to be under the 100 to get the people like myself buying it. But that said, I can't, I genuinely, the springs went, which was a bit annoying, but apart from that, there's been nothing wrong with the knife. I love it. I love the axis lock. I like just the everyday use of it. Now, is it my favourite Benchmade? No. As you all know, my favourite Benchmade is the 940. Is the 940 comparable to it? The 940 is longer and slimmer. A longer blade, the same blade steel. But to me, this 940 is a completely different animal. It's light as well. It's not, it's under 3 ounces. I'm not sure about that, but anyway, I think it is under 3 ounces. But it does a different job. It fulfills a different job. This would what I would call a harder use knife than this. This is the knife that I would take when I'm going out away from the house. So far, I'm using this about the house nearly constantly. I just don't even want to put anything else in my pocket. And I have to force myself to do it. I have to force myself from my Instagram pictures to get other knives out. And I'm sure that'll die down a wee bit. But so this is my going out where I'm going to maybe need a knife with a bit of harder work in it. Not that I don't think this will do it, but it's the lightnesses in my tracky bottoms that make it so pleasing and so easy to use. So without further ado, that's it. That is my review on the Bugout. I highly recommend it. I wish Benchmade would take it just under the 100, and I honestly believe then their sales would go up more than they possibly think, because 100 is a cut-off for people on a budget. Sometimes you just have to be strict when you're on a budget. So there we go. That's it. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you to Jonas for my little stand. Thank you for listening to me rabbit on. I hope the comparison sort of give it to you. It is worth the money to me because I love it. I just love it. And once you love something like that, sometimes money doesn't become a... You talk your way around the money like I did. I just talked my way around it. But big hit. If it had been under the 100, I probably would have saved the gain and bought the different colour one that just brought out. So there we go. That's the thing with pricing. Just try not to overprice yourself, because it does put people off. Dead simple. So there we go. I love the Bugout. Glad I got it. I'm sure this is a higgledy-piggledy review, but I hope it gives you some sort of sense of where it fits in my knife. This will never leave my knife collection. This will never leave my knife collection. This was a gift, so it'll never leave. But the other two, there's a good chance, they could move on a bit. So there we go. Take care, folks. Thank you very, very much indeed. And have a nice day. And wait for a wee cup of tea.